Stop. Nothing is going to ruin this wedding. So if it takes all night, I personally will drive each of you home in my car. My Subaru.
Long-distance operators, over a century of commitment. That's AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
Reach out and touch someone.
Wednesday, Charles is in charge of a wild slumber party, and it's ER's new night. Can the doctors survive his new health kick?
You should see in a leotard.
Oh, I'd rather see you in yours.
Dolphins have a 3rd and 2 upcoming, and they've got the elephant backfield in there. Pete Johnson, number 46, and Woody Bennett, number 34. Miami from the Philadelphia 15-yard line. And they're going to throw it at the 1-yard line. Complete for the first down. Nat Moore on the reception.
Well, they didn't have much success in the first half with Pete Johnson up the middle, so how about trying to fake to Pete? Marino looking right, coming back left. Nat Moore one-on-one, and he's going to always be open when he gets one-on-one coverage. That was a tough catch, by the way, a little low.
Excellent catch. 12-yard pickup. The officials are going to spot it at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal to go. Moore gets a big cheer as he comes out. Once again, the elephant backfield behind Marino. Eagles stopped him down here in the first half. It goes to Bennett. He runs in for the score.
Well, it was tough last time, but not this time. They get some good blocking. This time you'll see that the defensive line doesn't get that penetration, and Woody Bennett can pick his hole and run in. But you got to give credit to the Eagle defense because they did their job. They made Miami drive the length of the field and didn't give up a quick 6.
One of the Eagle players was shaken up on that touchdown run by Bennett. So we've got an official timeout here prior to the extra point try. And we'll get his number for you as soon as we can. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left in the 3rd period. 17-13. Eagles.
Pruitt, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Noonan, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Boulder, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Edelmeyer?
You know who to call when you have to get a package there. But what do you do when you have to get a person there? No matter how crazy the weather, you drive a Subaru. Or you may get stuck with something else.
The great American railroads. They were built to cut coast-to-coast travel from 5 months to 1 week and open up the West. That pioneer spirit made this country grow. Today, I see that same spirit and energy in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering these emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities. Come grow with us.
One more look at the job the offensive line of the Dolphins did in opening this hole for Bennett.
That's right. Watch 46 Pete Johnson come up and seal down everything on the inside, which allows Woody Bennett a big hole to get in.
Now, is that a hole or is that a hole? Dennis Harrison is the injured Eagle player. The defensive end. A moment ago, they're looking at the area of his left knee. And he is obviously hurting. It is very warm and very humid. Temperature in the 80s and the humidity not that far behind. And the heat may be taking its toll, and maybe it's just a cramp. And the way he's walking off would indicate that perhaps it is just a cramp. Dennis Harrison certainly would be a big loss for these Philadelphia Eagles, but walking off okay, and perhaps it is just a cramp. We've got the extra point try to come.
Well, the heat could be a factor as we get later into the game because the Dolphins have been sitting, the Eagles have been sitting right in the sun all afternoon.
Uwe van Schamen. Perfect. Eagles lead the Dolphins, but the Dolphins coming on now with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to play in the third period. Take a look at the rest of the scores around the National Football League. Washington ran up a 28-0 lead on Detroit, but the Lions have finally scored. That looks like a laugher. Minnesota, Green Bay has been tight all the way. It continues that way in the third period. 49ers look like they've got it together offensively and defensively. Buffalo and New England are tied. Indianapolis leading the Jets by 1 run in the third inning. And Pittsburgh over Cincinnati in the third period. Now, should Miami come back and win this game, and should the Jets lose and New England lose, Miami would clinch its title today with 5 games to go. They've got a 4-game lead in their division. Uwe von Schaman ready to kick off to Evan Cooper. Cooper, 4th-round draft pick from the University of Michigan. 6 yards deep in the end zone. And the Eagles offense will take over at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Second game of the CBS doubleheader. Again, keep in mind, 2 of the teams, the 4 teams tied for the top spot in the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys and the St. Louis Cardinals will collide in St. Louis. Those of you in Tallahassee and most of Pennsylvania will watch it. Giants at Tampa Bay, and those of you in Rhode Island and western New York State will see that one. And Chicago and the Rams will be beamed to Orlando, Florida. Beautiful afternoon here. That is the time remaining in the third quarter of what's been a great football game so far between the Dolphins and the Eagles. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Jaworski. Sideline throw, intercepted. Intercepted by Paul Langford, number 44, who timed it just perfect. Langford looked like he smelled that one was coming.
That's right, it's an out pattern, and Jaworski didn't get it out there with enough zip on it, and Langford made an excellent play on the ball. There's quick, but the pass was a little late, as you can see, and Paul Langford, who's filling in for the injured Don McNeil, really came up with a big play.
His second interception of the year, and the Dolphins with great field position and a chance to drive for the lead for the first time today. First down at the 27-yard line of the Eagles. Tony Nathan over the right side to about the 23. Before he's stacked up by Byron Darby, number 94. By the way, the word on Harrison, Dennis Harrison, the injured Eagle, a bruised knee, and he could be back. 1.5 minutes left in the third period. 2nd down, 7. Dolphins at the Eagle 23-yard line. Regular split in the backfield. Someone may have jumped there, but no flag. Marino gets the pass away to Nathan. That's good for a first down at the 12. And this crowd, which sat on its hands most of the first half, is suddenly very much into this football game.
That's right, and so is Tony Nathan, because the Eagles do not have a linebacker that can cover Nathan one-on-one. But what do? Do you double him, or do you double Duper and Clayton?
That's the choice you have to make. 1st and 10 from the 12. Marino's numbers looking better by the minute. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 1 back in there right now, and that's Bennett. Bennett gets the call behind Roy Foster to the 5. Big hold on the left side.
The Dolphin running game is opened up by the passing. Look at 61 Foster get out in front of Woody Bennett. Great block. Bennett cuts back. Duper almost gets a block downfield. If Duper had made that block, Bennett could have walked in. But these runs are set up now because of the passes. Now the passes have been going, these linebackers are playing a little loose, which enables them to get stretched out on the run. And Woody stretched them out and cut back behind a good block by Foster.
Dolphins need to reach the 2 for the first down, but the clock has run out here in the third period. And these Dolphins fans finally love what they're seeing. That's the end of the third quarter with the score 17-14 Eagles. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Two of college football's traditional rivalries will be renewed next Saturday when Michigan takes on Ohio State and USC battles UCLA in a doubleheader on CBS Sports.
This is CBS. Sponsored by Pontiac. Cars built with a feel for the road. Pontiac, we build excitement. Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time. And by the people of AT&T Communications.
The Miami Dolphins going for the go-ahead touchdown as a concerned Marion Campbell looks on from the sideline. Don Shula feeling a little better now the way things are going, as his team has a 2nd and 3 upcoming for the first down. They have to reach the 2 for the first down and 5 for the touchdown, which would put him in the lead for the first time in this ballgame. It is Jensen going for Moore, and Nat Moore can't reach it. How about that little shift just before the snap? We haven't seen that before, have we, that particular move?
No, because I think they saw that when they make a shift like that, the Eagles also have to make a shift defensively. And it can be very confusing if you're running around trying to get in position before the snap. Another thing, you can see the sweat on Dan Marino's face. They say it's 81 degrees here, but it's got to be hotter on the field. And I know the Eagles have to be concerned about their conditioning because it's not easy for a team who's been practicing in cool weather to play a game in hot weather.
Once again, the Dolphins with the bull elephant backfield in there. Johnson and Bennett. Last time they showed this, though, they threw the football. 3rd and 3, it is Bennett. He'll be close for the first down, and I think he's got enough for the first inside the 2-yard line. Woody Bennett, who played his college football right here at Miami of Florida.
Boy, I know Woody loves to follow Pete Johnson. It's like following a Mack truck down the highway. Get good gas miles.
First down, Dolphins.
They're going to come on the left side this time. Marino whips around and hands it off to Bennett, who was in the I formation. And there's a crunching block by Pete Johnson. Look at him. He follows him, stays right behind him. Cartwheels in there for a big first down.
Don Shula on the sidelines as the Dolphins come up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal to go from the 2-yard line. Somebody jumped. Bennett trying to leap over the top. He's short of the goal line, but the Eagles may have been offside. So we'll let Tom Dooley, the referee, figure this one out. Offside against Philadelphia, which will cost the Eagles half the distance to the goal.
Offside, defense, first down.
Well, you ask how the nose tackle can be offside. You already saw number 71, Ken Clark, jump there.
That's another indication sometimes when you get a little tired, your concentration is not what it should be. And if you're a defensive lineman, you're supposed to watch that ball only.
1st and goal to go from the 1-yard line. 2nd man through. Bennett did not get in. Eagles are fighting and clawing and scratching for every inch. Keep in mind the great goal line defense in the first half. Can they do it again?
Here's the play they scored on last time. A Pete Johnson lead off the right tackle. But that time, Bennett took off too soon. You saw he didn't wait until he got to the pile to jump over, but he jumped a little earlier, and that was why he was able to be stopped on that play.
2nd and goal inside the 1. Campbell, Marion Campbell, hands on knees, looking on. Johnson, I don't believe he got it. It'll be 3rd and goal. He did not get in. Can they do it again? Shula trying to figure out what to call next and sending in Woody Bennett, number 34, with the play.
I bet he sent in a pass play because the last time he was down in this situation when they got stopped in the first half, he should have sent a pass play in, but he didn't, and they got stopped.
The Swamp Fox, who appreciates good defense when he sees it, and he's seeing it. And his Eagles, 3rd down, less than a yard, inside the 1. It is Pete Johnson, touchdown.
here, that right side of the Dolphin line gets a tremendous push. You see them containing Woody Bennett with a great block on the corner, and Pete Johnson does the rest. And the Dolphins feel like they have a 100-pound weight off their back right now.
They lead for the first time in this ball game with 13 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the game. They have trailed for 3 quarters plus. Uwe van Schamen. The extra point attempt is good. And the Dolphins have a 4-point advantage. As a result of the turnover, the interception by Langford, which set it up.
Sat down with Mom, talked to Dad. Can't get it together, makes you feel sad. You know you can do it, you wonder where. You want it soon because you really care. The services can help you so you not only get better, you really grow. Talking Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. They'll take you, train you, show you the way. You'll work hard to get decent pay in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Prove you can make it. Prove it to all. Serving your country and walking tall in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You've got it together. They'll see in a glance. Thanks to the services, you got the chance in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Welcome.
They said he couldn't retrieve his own shadow, but you didn't give up on him. Now comes your time.
To Miller Time.
And Miller Time means it's time for the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here. The rich, smooth taste of Miller beer is what you have in mind.
Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Well, when you get the big pass interception, as the Dolphins did, and you have only 26 yards to travel, that's not much of a drive for the Dolphins offense, but they had to fight for every yard when it got down to the goal line, finally sending Pete Johnson across. Von Schamen ready to kick off. Miami with a 4-point lead after trailing early 14-0. Coming down to the near side, Andre Waters from the 10 across the 20 to the 21, where he's drilled by Jim Jensen, Mr. Everything. Crash Jensen of the Dolphins, number 11 on the stop. Coming up next Sunday on CBS. An interesting assortment of battles. NFC East, St. Louis and the Giants. That'll be in New York. Tampa Bay will take on the San Francisco 49ers out on the West Coast. Most of our Florida viewers will see that ball game. You think you've got a good ball club here in Miami? San Francisco's not that far behind.
That's right.
1st and 10 now on the Eagles. Can they keep going? Can they get it back? We're going to find out. Haddix gets a couple up the middle. Ernie Roan, number 55, on the stop. Roan, 9th-year man who was signed as a free agent back in 1975 from Henderson State. Quickly, an update on other scores around the NFL. Atlanta leading the Saints in the 3rd quarter. San Francisco putting it on Cleveland. Packers in front of Minnesota. Buffalo, New England. It's also a 3rd quarter score. And Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in a tight one. 2nd down, 8. Jaworski looking downfield, completes the pass close to the 1st down, and it was Ernie Roan making the stop, this time with the tight end Spagnola, number 88.
That was an interesting play that time because they sent Mike Quick in motion and then kept him in the block, still tying up 2 men. There's 88 getting a good release, John Spagnola from the linebacker, and there he uncovers. He finds a hole between the linebackers, makes the big control pass. They like to go to him in that situation, and now they're going to measure for a 1st down.
So they bring in the change from the far side. Looks like the Eagles maybe just, well, let's see.
Tug of war there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Gotta be close.
I always love the way these officials spot the ball. You know, sometimes they put it up a little, sometimes they put it back.
You know, you've played against the Eagles many times, being a member of the Cowboys and the Redskins. Anything stand out in your mind?
Well, the Eagles like to be underdogs. They like to come up with a big play in a big game, you know. And today, we can see what they did in the 1st half, but they're not going to be able to run the ball as well the 2nd half. And Jaworski's going to have to be able to shake off that interception in the last series and pass the ball. But this is going to be a run this time.
Jaworski, 10 out of 20, 135 yards. He's had 2 picked off, thrown 2 touchdown passes. 3rd down, less than a yard. Hubie Oliver Needed just a matter of a couple of feet. And didn't get much more, if that.
Jaworski signaling first down.
Well, if you're a team like the Eagles, not used to playing in this heat and humidity, by now it does have to be a little draining.
That's right. There's number 63 shaken up. That's Ron Baker, who's been having an excellent game at guard. And he's been really a big part of that running game in the first half. So you know they don't want to lose him.
They're going to let the officials decide it here, and they feel that it's close enough for yet another measurement.
And here's again another tough situation on a placement, because when you have a big pile up and the guy with the ball is not really on the ground, where do you put the ball? But we'll see where they put it this time.
Big measurement here for the Eagles. They needed to retain possession. That was a third down play, and they did not get it. They did not get it. And the Eagles will have to punt with 11:57 left to play in the game. Marion Campbell disappointed, along with Ted Marchibroda over there, the offensive coordinator, as they sent Oliver up the middle in an attempt to pick up the 1.5 feet they needed. He didn't get it.
And in 2 series, Frank, the Dolphin defense has come up with 2 big plays, an interception and a big third down stop.
Fulton Walker is deep as Horan prepares to punt. Now Walker is joined by Kozlowski. Good snap, good kick. Nice sailor. Driving Walker back to the 15. 20. Finally dropped at the 31-yard line. 54 yards on the punt, 16 on the return as Horan almost outkicked his coverage. And we've got a timeout here in Miami.
Pontiac. When you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you get a car that's practical and easy to own. When you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you get a car that's technically advanced and carefully built. And when you get a Pontiac Sunbird, you can also get a car with 150 turbocharged horsepower. If you're so inclined. Sunbird, only from Pontiac. We build excitement. Pontiac.
I loved everything about buying a new car. The looks, the smell. I loved everything but getting the financing.
Then I found out about GMAC financing. It's so easy, you can do it all right at your GM dealer.
Now I love everything about getting a new car, except
choosing which one. Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, GMC truck, Buick, Cadillac.
Tell your GM dealer you want GMAC financing.
That's the easy part.
The Miami Dolphins trying to go 11-0 and feeling a lot better about their chances as they finally taken the lead, 21-17. Marino comes out throwing from the 30, going for all of it to Clayton. Overthrew him down at the 20-yard line. I talked to Marino yesterday. What did you ask him how far he could throw it?
He said he's been throwing the ball at least 65 yards, but the most amazing thing is he's been throwing it that long since high school.
Everybody's trying to get inside the brain of this man, and one of the reasons he's really done so well, go back to his offense in college. It was a pass offense. In over 4 years, he threw over 1,000 passes out of a passing offense, and probably a lot more ready for the NFL than just about any quarterback come out in recent years.
That's right. Repetition really helps you to improve, and he certainly had a lot of opportunities to throw the ball.
2nd and 10, Dolphins at their 30-yard line. One back setup, and that one back is Nathan, who gets the call. 35, 40, 45, across the 50. Counting Nathan, his biggest gainer of the afternoon, finally halted by Wes Hopkins. But not till he picks up a first down at the Eagle 47.
Let's watch the middle with Kenny Clark and Dwight Stevenson. There, Stevenson gets a great turn on him, and you can begin to see the Dolphins getting a little tired. See, there's no one out there, and usually the Eagles are swarming around that ball. And I think this heat is starting to wear him down, the heat and the Miami Dolphin momentum.
22 yards on the pickup, first down, Dolphins at the Eagle 47-yard line. Again, Nathan, this time we get a flag. That is the first penalty marker that has been thrown against Miami this afternoon. Eagles have been penalized 6 times for 31 yards, and the Dolphins, who traditionally are among the least penalized teams in pro football.
False start, 74 offense, first down.
They're guilty of this one. Cleveland Green, number 74, guilty. There's the time left in the game. Herman Edwards on the sidelines for the Eagles. He is out with dizziness. And again, I think that can be attributed to the heat. And Jerry Robinson has also had to take a seat on the bench. That bruised shoulder is acting up again. So a couple of big dents right now in the Eagle defense.
If you look at the screen now, you can see the shadows by the Dolphin bench. And the Dolphins aren't getting sun on their face, but on their back. But the Eagles are looking right at that sun.
And you don't think that bench placement is intentional? First and 15. Dolphins back at their 48-yard line. Jensen in motion. Nathan lost the ball, fell on it at the 45 after picking up 7 yards.
There's a good view, and you can see the tackle coming around trying to pick up that linebacker, Joel Williams. He stays with him, and Tony Nathan cuts off that block by Giesler.
Instead of first and 15, could have been a late hit.
Well, it could have been, but the ball was loose. Nathan dropped it and jumped back on it.
Nathan's going to get a breather, and Joe Carter, number 23. And Nathan's still in there with Carter, repaired in the backfield. Marino fires a bullet, completes it to Nathan, close to the first down yardage at the 37-yard line.
Tony Nathan has been the key to the Miami offense, both on their drive right before halftime. He made the 2 big plays, and then here in the second half, he's making big plays both as a receiver and as a running back.
You saw both guys from Alabama in the backfield that time. Carter, who is the rookie, and Nathan, who is a 3rd-round draft pick from Alabama back in 1979, known perhaps best for his ability to come out of the backfield and catch those short throws.
You know, Nathan even looked tired coming off, and he's used to this heat.
Now we got the bull elephant backfield of Bennett and Johnson behind Marino on 3rd down, and a long one from the 39 of Philadelphia. Johnson carries to the 34. First down at the 34.
Here's a good look at the Eagle linebackers on a short yardage situation. There's Reichenbach fighting off a block. Anthony Griggs was also coming over. Reichenbach's in the game, by the way, because Jerry Robinson, who's their veteran linebacker, has a bruised shoulder. So Mike's going to have to fill some big shoes.
Eagles with a ball control drive here as the clock continues to move with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the game. They're finding some holes up the middle. That time Woody Bennett across the 30 to the 27-yard line. Tick, tick, tick. And that's working to the advantage of the Dolphins right now. Have a 4-point lead, would like nothing better than to run off another 3 or 4 minutes and then climax it with a touchdown.
Well, it's important now for Philadelphia to really dig in and try to force the Dolphins to go for a field goal.
2nd down. 3 needed for the first down at the 27-yard line. Nathan got enough for the first as he bounced off the pile and moved forward to the 23. Well, Miami now with a 10-0 record has matched Minnesota's 1975 start. And they are 2 shy of the all-time record for consecutive regular season victories, which goes over 2 seasons. And that was originally set by the Bears 50 years ago, back in 1934. So a victory today would give them 16 straight over 2 years and 11 straight this year. First down at the Eagle 24-yard line. Nothing fancy here. A lot of running room. That's all there is. As Tony Nathan, who has spent most of the first 3 quarters catching the ball, now running the ball very well. This is what it looks like to have Tony Nathan coming into your living room.
Well, when you got something working, keep going to it. Here, Ed Newman, 64, comes out and makes a great block on the pull, and Nathan knows how to use it. There's Wes Hopkins coming in, putting a shot on him.
Along with Bernard Wilson, but the Dolphins have reached the Eagle 15-yard line. They're looking at a 2nd and 1. This is Carter. Hit at the line of scrimmage and taking a good deal of punishment. Looks like he stopped short of the first down.
They're trying to shake Carter loose, number 34. That time they had the flanker coming back in motion, and his job was to block the force man, and Carter was trying to bounce outside but didn't quite make it.
Albert Fowles, number 29, on the stop. Shula shouting some instructions from the sideline. Eagles have been to Marino once. One sack today for a team that had 37 on the year coming in, which put him third in the NFC. Nathan is getting a breather on the sidelines and taking some oxygen right now. Third down. Dolphins need 2 for the first from the 16. Marino wants to throw for it. And he's got it. First down to Nat Moore at the 10. The little man who always seems to be there when the Dolphins need him.
Number 89, Nat Moore, has been making many big plays for many years for the Dolphins. Here he goes down and just turns around, and there's no way you can defense that play because you have to play behind him and not let him get past. So he runs upfield, he stops, and he turns around. Marino puts the ball in a perfect place.
Look at the turnaround here.
It's a big difference in the second half.
And most of that has come late in the third and on into the fourth quarter. Because the Eagles really dominated for 2.5 quarters. Bennett trying to bounce outside. Got back to the line of scrimmage. And then was stacked up. Aaron Darby, number 94, leading the defensive charge.
Eagles like Darby a lot. He was a linebacker in college, and they've converted him to defensive end. I talked earlier about Marion Campbell. He was at Minnesota when they had the Purple People Eaters. He was at Los Angeles when they had the Fearsome Foursome. He helped develop Claude Humphrey in Atlanta, and now he's doing the same thing with his fine defensive front for Philadelphia.
All pro linemen seem to follow this man around, defensive linemen. And that is no coincidence. Second down, 9 from the 10. Marino looking for 6. Clayton couldn't hold it. Corner of the end zone.
Well, this next play could be the biggest play of the game for the Eagles. With the score 21-17, a field goal, and they're only a touchdown down. But if the Dolphins can go in and get a touchdown, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for the Eagles to come back. So Campbell's sending in some reinforcements, and Shula's sending in a play.
See how close Clayton came to pulling this one down.
When you're a receiver and you get that close to a touchdown, he'll maybe even think about that one longer than the one he dropped in the first half.
All right, 3rd and 9. Eagles, or rather the Dolphins, have to get inside the 1 to pick up the first. From the shotgun. Marino looking near side corner. It is knocked down. Fine defense that time by Ray Ellis.
That was excellent coverage because he had single coverage. Now, Ellis is a safety, and he's not supposed to be able to stay up with the receiver of Duper's caliber. Here it is. He's trying to take the inside away. Duper's going to fake out and try to come around him. Ellis gets his head around looking for the ball, and boy, that was another one that was close. But the Eagles did their job. They stopped him from getting a touchdown, and now they're going to try to block this kick.
Uwe van Schamen, who has not had a good year. He is only 8 out of 17, but from this range, he has been perfect. They'll put it down at the 18-yard line, which will make it a 28-yard effort. This to give the Dolphins a 7-point lead. Slap is low. He got it away. It's good. Dolphins 24, Eagles 17, 4:27 left in the game.
AT&T is in paper, trucks, software. How? With a new program called AT&T Opportunity Calling for Business. It can help small business earn $1 credit on these and other name brand products for each $1 spent on AT&T long distance service. That's savings off the best price you can find. Our catalog is coming to your office. Look for it. AT&T Communications. We can help your business in ways you never thought of.
Monday.
I shot him.
One murder.
I wanted him to die.
Two confessions. What do a mother and daughter have to hide? Cagney and Lacey.
Mike Lieber with Gene Fugit. Eagles have left a crack in the door. By holding the Dolphins to a field goal, they are a touchdown away from tying this game up with 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go. If they can get their offense cranked up.
And the Eagles were looking at a 6-game season coming into the day, and they know that this next series could be very important.
And they have a murderous schedule coming up. Joe Hayes really knocked off at the 20-yard line, and the man who hit him is down. Robert Sowell, number 45, came across and may have knocked himself out with that hit.
That's the guy we talked about earlier. He loves to go down and put a lick on that ball carrier. And that time he came in so hard, he hurt himself on the play.
You talk about not having any regard for your body. Watch this particular hit coming up as we follow Robert Sowell down the field.
Well, this is the way many young players make their mark in the NFL. It's by coming downfield, avoiding the blockers, and putting your head on the numbers. And that's exactly the way it's coached.
What a collision. That's how he made this football team as a specialty team guy, and he appears to be all right. Shaking it off. Timeout, 4:17 left to play in the game. Back in Miami right after this.
Welcome to Miller Time.
At Miller High Life, time is everything. Beer drinkers come to us because we've been brewing in extra quality for the last 129 years. That's a lot of our time. But it's the reason you spend your time with us when you want the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Pontiac.
The editors of Road and Track call the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the world's 12 best enthusiast cars. Car and Driver called the Pontiac 6000 STE one of the 10 best cars of 1984. So why did we make it even better for 1985? Just because. The sensational 6000. Only from Pontiac.
We build excitement.
Pontiac.
Eagles 1st and 10 at their 24-yard line. After being ahead most of this ball game, they now trail by a touchdown. Jaworski with the long count play, fake, throws over the middle and completes the pass for the first down at the 38-yard line. Tony Woodruff has been a favorite target with Quick getting all the extra attention.
Well, if Tony Woodruff goes on to continue playing like this, he may look back at this game as a turning point in his career. Here he is coming down, running an excellent curl route. That time he looked the ball all the way in, covered it up, and made a big first down for the Eagles.
Woodruff played his college football at Fresno State, 9th-round draft choice a couple of years ago. Williams out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. If you're wondering what's happened to Wilbert Montgomery, he came into the ball game with a hamstring problem, ran very well in the first half, picked up 56 yards rushing, is still the leading rusher in the game, but he hasn't been able to go in the second half with that hamstring, so he's been forced to watch it from the sidelines, and that's been a big blow to the Eagle offense.
You know he wishes he was out there because he gave the team such a tremendous lift in that first half.
Second down. Eagles need 2 for the first down at their 46-yard line as we hit the 3-minute mark. They had the blitz coming. Jaworski gets it away in one-on-one coverage, aiming it for Mike Quick. Kozlowski, number 40, was back there covering.
That's what the Eagles have been hoping for. They're hoping to get Mike Quick on a one-on-one situation. That time, as a result of a blitz, he had one-on-one, but Jaworski just couldn't get it to him that time.
Other scores. Boy, the Packers offense has really gotten in high gear.
It was just a matter of time. There's that baseball. It must be in the 9th inning.
Getting close to it, 4th quarter. This should pretty well bring you up to date around the NFL. Our score, 24-17, Dolphins leading the Eagles. Big play, 3rd down, 3. Eagles at their 46-yard line. need the first badly to keep the drive going. Jaworski swinging it out in the backfield, but Jaworski had nowhere else to go. And a loss of 5 yards on the play. Rodell Thomas doing an excellent job coming up and putting the big hit on Haddix, number 26.
Well,
and Jaworski's really hot. It's something that Haddix did. I think he was motioning for him to get downfield further.
Well, I told you the Dolphin defense was going to have to make a difference in this game, and they had that play well defense. They wanted quick over the middle for the little dump, but he was covered, and then he had to come off to the back, but it was well covered by the linebacker, and frankly, I don't see anything that the back could have done.
The Eagles are going to call a timeout, and they're going to go for it. They are going to go for it on 4th and 5 from their own 44. So this could very well be their last shot. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go, and Campbell apparently feeling that Miami has done a good job controlling the ball in the second half, that if the Eagles give it up here, they may never get it back. And we'll see what happens in just a moment.
Pontiac. It's brand new. It's from Pontiac, and it's called Grand Am. The latest in Pontiac road car technology, Grand Am is a true driver's coupe. That means it's built for drivers who appreciate engineering excellence as well as exciting road machinery. You know who you are. Grand Am, new from Pontiac, only from Pontiac. We build excitement. Pontiac.
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
Well, you have to wait. So sorry.
Avis knows how frustrating it is to wait for your rental car. That's why we invented the Wizard number, so you can go right from your plane to the Avis bus.
I hate to wait.
We'll get you on your way and into your car fast. We know you hate to wait, so from reservation to return.
I hate to wait.
He hates to wait.
We're trying harder, faster.
I hate to wait. Tonight, the immigrant was her desire. The senator was her future. She wanted them both.
Damn you, Maud, you twist everything.
Faye Dunaway, Richard Burton, Ellis Island.
Here we go. 4th down, 5. Eagles at their 44 desperately need a first down to keep this drive going, which could produce a tying touchdown. Jaworski in the shotgun. 70,000 yelling at the top of their voices. Jaworski goes to Spagnola, 50, 45. First down at the 39-yard line. John Spagnola, the tight end, with his biggest reception of the day, and the Eagles stay alive.
Well, I always told you, Frank, that the tight end is the money receiver. Here he is at the top of your screen making a great release. He's covered by Kozlowski's a safety. He uncovers, breaks a tackle, and is a half a step from a big play.
Tight end is the money receiver. What position did you play?
Tight end.
Glenn Blackwood with a big miss on that tackle, enabling Spagnola to pick up the first. Timeout.
This NFL Most Valuable Player segment is brought to you by IBM. Growing up in Alabama, Harlan Hill's modest goal is to be a science teacher. Instead, he turns pass catching into a science. As a 15th round draft choice in 1954, Hill becomes a classic example of the unknown who attains stardom overnight. In his first season with the Chicago Bears, Hill wins both Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year honors.
It started in 1933 with our first electric. Then came typing that looked like printing. The revolutionary Selectric. And Selectrics that correct mistakes. 1984, IBM introduces the Selectric System 2000, the Wheelwriter typewriters and the Quietwriter typewriter. A new generation of typewriters from the company that makes the typewriters secretaries prefer most.
And there it is in a nutshell. The 2-minute warning has gone to both benches. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. The Eagles have a 1st and 10 at the Dolphin 39. They need 7 to tie and send it into overtime. Jaworski in the 2-minute drill operating out of the shotgun. Quick in motion downfield. He completes it at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Philadelphia. Melvin Hoover, number 85. Melvin Hoover, the third wide receiver, breaks through the seam and on the receiving end of a 38-yard touchdown pass from Ron Jaworski, and the Eagles are 1 point away from tying this game with 1:52 to go. McFadden, extra point try. Blocked! We believe it was Doug Betters coming up the middle, number 75. But Ron Jaworski on the field, that picture told you everything of this great fight the Eagles have put on, and now it looks like it's going to be 1 point short. And when you're undefeated, things like that have to happen a time or two during the season to keep you undefeated.
That's right, Frank. You can't go through the season undefeated without getting some lucky breaks. And luck is the residue of design, I'm told, and I'm sure they had that block design.
So a terribly disappointed Ron Jaworski as McFadden misfires on an extra point try for the first time this year. See if we can pick it up here.
There's a good hold by Jaworski.
Try to slow it down for you so we can see where the block came. It appeared to come right up the middle. And it is very difficult to tell. Betters was in the middle of it. Onside kick attempt, I believe, has been recovered by the Dolphins. Nat Moore, number 89, one of the hands guys for the Eagles, who play up on the front line when they anticipate the onside kick. So the Dolphins will take over at the Eagle 44-yard line. And we'll try to run out the clock on this battling band of Eagles from Philadelphia, led by Marion Campbell, who gave the Dolphins all they could handle and looked for all the world like this one was headed for overtime.
Well, it's not over yet, Frank.
Eagles still have 2 timeouts left, so they have a couple of chances to stop the clock. As Woody Bennett, with both arms cradled around the football, carries it to the 40-yard line for a pickup of 3.
Now, on that play, the Eagles did call a timeout, but they lost about 3 seconds. Now, normally, you can tell an official, as soon as the play's over, we want a timeout. And I don't see any reason why the clock has to continue to run after the whistle. And as soon as that whistle blows, that clock should stop. They lost a few seconds on that.
One of the Eagles shake it up on the play, so we've got timeout for injury. Officially, we've got 1 minute and 43 seconds to play. And the Dolphins clinging to a 1-point lead at 24-23 as a result of the blocked extra point.
You know, George Allen used to always say that the game is never over as long as the defense is on the field, because the defense has a chance to win it. And what the defense will have to do here is either try to take the ball away from the Dolphins or stop them from getting a first down.
Greg Brown is the injured Eagle player. Coming up next on CBS, the second half of our twin bill. Dallas and St. Louis battling for a share of first place in the NFC East. One will drop out. Those of you in Tallahassee and most of Pennsylvania will see it. Giants at Tampa Bay, and those of you in western New York State and Rhode Island will watch that one. And Chicago and the Rams, those of you in Orlando, Florida, will see that as the second half of your CBS doubleheader. We now get word that Doug Betters it is who has officially been credited with the block on the extra point try, which may have saved this game, or at least a tie, or prevented it from going into overtime. Let's see if we can look at it one more time. Betters wears number 75 coming up the middle.
That's the best place usually to try to block a kick. If you can get penetration up the middle and then get your hands up, that's what they teach those big guys to do, and Betters certainly is a big one.
We're having a little technical problem here. We'll try to get it remedied and take a look at it again. Second down and 7 needed for the first down from the 40-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Looked that time as if Jeff Taves, number 60, the offensive lineman, jumped. One more time on the extra point try. Jaworski with a good snap, clean hold. And McFadden, who has not missed one this year. And this one was deflected at the line of scrimmage. And we actually couldn't see it, but right now they're crediting it to Doug Betters. It matters little because it's the result that counts. On 2nd and 11, Marino out to the tight end, Johnson.
Dan Marino's pass complete to number 87, Dan Johnson.
And Dan Johnson goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Ray Ellis, number 24 on the tackle. That stops the clock. With 1:36 to go, the Eagles have 1 timeout left, and the Dolphins have 2.
Obviously, the Eagles would have hoped to knock that pass down and make it incomplete, but that's not so bad because they were able to stop the clock without using a timeout. And now the Dolphins still have a ways to go for a first down. Now, earlier in the game, when it got that close, usually Miami would pass the ball, and a run could be very tough, especially in light of how tough that defense has been in the short yardage situation against the Dolphins.
Numbers on Marino for the afternoon, 20 out of 34 for 246 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 3rd down. 3 needed for the first down. Dolphins at the 37-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Flags. Obviously, they didn't get the first, but they may get it anyway on penalty, because the Eagles may have jumped. Looked like Byron Darby, the right end, who is filling in for the injured Greg Brown, was offside. And that will give the Dolphins the first down and maybe the final nail in the coffin of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Defense, first down.
You know, Frank, a lot of people wonder how a team that's 4-5-1 can play so well against a team that came in 10-0. But there's really not that much difference between these teams except a play like this in a crucial situation. That can be the difference in a game.
And there's the young man, the second-year man, actually, Byron Darby, 5th-round draft choice a year ago from Southern Cal, who jumped and may have iced this. First down at the 33-yard line. Simple straight handoff to Woody Bennett. Well, the Eagles can go back to Philadelphia, certainly, as they call timeout here with their heads held high. Still pays off in the 1-loss column, but they played these undefeated Dolphins to a standstill, jumping out to a 14-0 lead. And Miami, of course, didn't actually take the lead in the game for the first time until the final period.
You can't be calculating without a calculating mind.
Now what? I don't know, but they're doing it fast.
Canon's 350 makes 30 copies a minute.
They're doing it in color. The connivers.
Canon's 350 can zoom to precise image sizes and remember them.
They got it in sets already. Already? They're finished. If they're finished, we're finished.
Canon's NP350, the copier with the calculating mind. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-OK-CANON.
Tonight, Ann Gillian, Peter Riegert, Melba Moore, Ben Vereen, Faye Dunaway, and Richard Burton star in the magnificent miniseries Ellis Island.
Miami by 1 with 1:26 to go, and the Eagles are out of timeout, so that should just about do it. Keep in mind, second half of the CBS doubleheader coming up, one of the key games. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys, 2 of the 4 teams tied for first place in the NFC East.
Yeah, if the Dolphins don't pass, they should be able to run out the clock.
They have a 2nd and 8 at the Eagle 31-yard line. Bennett about the 29. But the Eagles can only helplessly stand by now to watch the numbers tick. Coming up tonight on CBS. 60 Minutes starts it off, and then the start of a new miniseries, long talked about, called Ellis Island, which will occupy the rest of your evening. First of a 3-part series. Dolphins have a 3rd and 7 at the Eagle 30-yard line. Eagles with no timeouts left. Oh, this has got to be a tough one.
That's the most helpless feeling in the world, too, just to sit there and watch the seconds tick off. There's nothing you can do about it.
Moreno simply hanging on to the football.
And the Eagles were literally 1 point away from turning their season around.
Well, I think they've got to run this last playoff because the 30-second clock is going to tick out before the game clock finishes. That'll be 4th down. They need 9 for the first. Game clock is 13. The 30-second clock is 3 seconds ahead of it. So this should do it. Marino hangs on. The game is over. And the Dolphins remain unbeaten. 11-0 for the Miami Dolphins. Another perfect year. They have still got a few stops along the way, but this one was the toughest and certainly the most heartbreaking for Marion Campbell and the Philadelphia Eagles, who came here to play and had the Dolphins on the run for certainly the first half and most of 3 quarters.
Well, that's a sign of your great teams. You can win when you're not playing well, and that's certainly what the Dolphins did today.
Don Shula, as his Dolphins have now rolled to their 16th consecutive regular season victory over 2 years. For Gene Fugit, this is Frank Lieber saying so long from the Orange Bowl in Miami. The final score, the Dolphins 24, the Eagles 23. Stay with us for part 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Either the Cowboys and the Cardinals, or the Giants in Tampa Bay, or Chicago against the LA Rams will be seen in your area. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.
United is the first and only airline to serve all 50 states. Fly the friendly skies.
You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies.
This is CBS.
New York Giants linebacker Lawrence Taylor is the most dominant defensive player in the game today. He showed why the first time the Giants faced the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season. Taylor proved to be an unstoppable force, a virtual one-man gang, sacking Bucs quarterback Steve DeBerg 4 times. The Giants won that game 17-14, and in the final analysis, Lawrence Taylor was the difference. Today's the return engagement, and Tampa Bay and Steve DeBerg will have Lawrence Taylor on their minds.